Having town car today. Let's get started. I got underneath some shade. I gotta stay out of that sun. That sun is messing my skin up in a bad kind of way, so I gotta try to stay out of it. I'm gonna go eat some breakfast first. We'll come back and we'll knock that out. It's gonna be a intake manifold gasket today. It looks like we got a Lincoln town car 2007 we're working on today. It's a beautiful day to work on it. I gotta cut my grass, but man, clear skies. I seen this ABS light blinking yesterday. I haven't started working on it yet, but I'm trying to get it. It's not blinking anymore, but it was blinking yesterday. I haven't touched the car, just popped the hood. It's not blinking now, but I wanted to record it to document it, but it's not doing it now for me, so let's continue on. Let's go ahead and get this job over with. It's a beautiful day. I don't want to work all day. I'll probably get done with this in about 3 hours. We're going to be doing a lower intake manifold on it. That's all this piece right here, all of it, from back to front. So all this stuff is coming off. Fuel injectors are coming off. Coil packs are coming off. If I get that light in the right position, you'll be able to see it. There's antifreeze leaking. I'll try to zoom in on it if I can. That's antifreeze right there in the corner. That little, well, you can't really see it, I guess. You can almost see it. That little greenish orange looking color. Anyways, that's antifreeze. So that's why we're doing this job. Low intake manifold gasket. Alright guys, let's get this thing started. Intake manifold. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start removing all my hoses. Everything that's in this area, I'm going to remove it. I'm not going to remove it totally. I'm going to try to remove everything in bulk. Get everything out of the way. So let's begin by taking off the snorkel tube, the air tube. Now we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Might have to come over here. There's a little plug back here I can unplug too. Let's go ahead and unplug it. I'll pull this off. I can remove this completely, okay? Then set it to the side. Might as well unplug this while I'm here. The throttle position sensor. Looks like there's a clip on it. There it is. Got that unplugged. Go ahead and take off the throttle body connector. Alright. We can unplug the coil packs while we're here. Let's go ahead and do that. And the injectors. Go ahead and do all that right now. Try to make this removal fairly quick. I want to spend 3 hours on it, I guess. I really don't want to spend 3 hours on it, but that's how long it's going to take me. At least, I think. We'll see. Alright, got everything unplugged here. Alright, we're going to have to remove the thermostat housing too, or at least the thermostat. Yeah, the housing. I'll go ahead and plug this vacuum line. What else can I do over here? I can unplug this cable, this vacuum hose, go into the PCV valve, get that out of the way. We can unplug this from the fuel rail. This is the fuel rail sensor right here, the fuel pressure sensor. We can go ahead and unplug that. We can plug this one back in, because we're going to take all this out in one piece. Alright. We can unplug the EGR We can unplug the fuel rail sensor, electrical harness, unplug all the coil packs and the injectors on the passenger side. I'll try to make this fun. You know what, I'm really not feeling it today, but I'm going to get better in a little bit. Okay, and you also have 2 bolts down here you can remove, and once you get these 2 out, you can lift it up and you can set it to the side. So let me do that. These are slotted, so really just got to loosen them. Just really have to loosen them up a little bit, and you can lift this out of there. Let me get these bolts before I lose them. Consolidate your stuff, y'all. You can move this bracket out of the way, and you can lift this up out of the way. Now, unplug the regulator part of the alternator. Unplug that cable, and just lift it up and get it out of the way. All right. And there we have a clear view, and that is broken. This is broken. It's a casing for it. Okay, it's not an issue though. So let's go ahead and finish removing. I guess we can go ahead and take off the, what do you say we just go ahead and take off the thermostat housing right now too, since we're over here with a 10 millimeter. There's one. There's 2. Set it to the side. 2 long bolts for the thermostat. Okay. Go ahead and set it to the side. All right, guys, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's not worry about the fuel rail right now, even though I already took out a couple bolts. But what I would do first, if I do this job again, I will be doing this bracket first. A bracket that's hiding that EGR bolt nut right here. I would focus on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove this line coming into the throttle body. I'm going to remove that so I can get access to that 10 millimeter bolt down there. Okay. And then start and remove this. And once you remove this, you'll solve a lot of your problems. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to remove this hose. You just got to push down on this tab and pull it out, okay? Just route it out of your way and stick it to the side. All right, so let's get this bolt out. Let's get that hose out of the way and we'll get the bolt out of there. Before you take these bolts off that connect the throttle body to the intake manifold, you're going to have to break that loose first because you don't want that thing wobbling around while you're trying to break that off. So let's go ahead and get that off right now. I'm going to use a big crescent wrench. Is what I'm. All right, so that's off. See, that goes way down to the exhaust manifold to the bottom, so you won't be able to get that off, this intake manifold off without taking that out. It's pretty important. So what I can do now is go ahead and take those, they're 8 millimeter bolts going all the way around the throttle body. Take those off now. All right. So we can pick it up and we can get it out of the way. I'm just gonna set it there. Everything in bulk. Now we can see the intake manifold and we can start taking off the injectors and the coil packs. Bolt off right there. And there's another bolt down there on the bottom, I believe. That's a 15 millimeter. Let's take that off. Guys, and this is the worst part about this job. It's not too terribly bad, but still, you know, I don't like digging back in there. So let me show you. Sorry, there was something I had to do over here. All right, on this bracket down here, if you follow it down, you'll run into a bolt down there. I think it's a 14 millimeter, 13 millimeter, I don't know, I forgot. I'll put the bolt over here by itself. Oh, look, that one just came right out of this one. All right, good. So now, we finished taking that bolt out of there for the fuel rail. I got the other 3 out already. And we can pop this fuel rail out of there, and I'll show you how to do that. All you really gotta do is get a pry bar or something, big screwdriver, and just pop them out. I like to lubing them down first. Let me do that now, so you see what I'm, that way, because I want them to come out easily. I don't want to pull out no O-rings or anything. So I just kind of squirt down in there a little bit. You know, just trying to make it easier for myself. Do both sides, let it soak for a couple minutes, and they should pop right out of there with no problem. Okay. Things soak down a little bit. Let's go in and remove some coil packs. You're going to need a 7 millimeter. You're going to need a 7 millimeter for that. 7 millimeter. I'm going to put it on my drill. And we're just going to zip them up. Go get all 8 of them at the same time. For those who are interested in getting this job done, this is like a $400 job on the labor. The gasket's like 46 bucks. For me, it is. Now, if you go to the shops, you'll probably spend $600, $700, $800. You know, I've even seen these shops charging, you know, like $1,000 to do this job. So, you know, that's where I'm at. I'm at 400. I think it's 410, 415 for me to do this job on the labor and plus parts, which you're going to need just a gasket on this. You're not going to need any antifreeze. You might want to use a little antifreeze, but I'm not going to lose a lot. You see the antifreeze is right here, so when I pull that off, it's going to be right here. So you're only going to lose just a little bit of antifreeze on that. So, and that's it. So I got all those bolts out of there, right? Man, I forgot what I just did. What did I just do? Oh, I gotta take this bolt out of there now. I just did the coil packs. There's one more I have to do. So let me pop got my little swivel here. Put my 7 millimeter on that. Put my 7 millimeter on this one. Then we can get that last one out of there. Here, let me take you with me. Look. One more coil pack. All right. All right. Consolidate all my bolts for my coil packs. Put them all in the same spot. Everything is separated. All right. Pretty important, y'all. Pull these boots out. We're also going to be replacing these boots since we're doing this job. He bought me some brand new boots. I'm going to install these for free for him. Not a big deal. Sometimes you got to give away stuff or do stuff, extra stuff, which I do all the time. You know, it keeps business coming, and it keeps repeat customers. I'm about 80% repeat customers, which is not too bad. And I got some more bolts. I'm going to put these since it goes on this side, I'm going to put these in its own spot over here. I'm going to put them right here. I got 4 of them right there. Right there. Own spot, own spot. Pull these coil packs out of there. All right, and set them up here. Okay. All right, good, y'all. You guys do good work. All right. So now we got these things lubed up a little bit. We should be able to pop this fuel rail out of there. I'm not going to put you on pause. I'm just going to go ahead and grab me a pry bar and just gently pop up on them. Oh. I knew there was a problem. I forgot to take that out. Why didn't y'all say something? All right. I got it now. Thanks a lot. That's the wrong size. I need an 8mm for that. Yeah, let me put you on pause for a second. Nah, I won't put you on pause. Wonder what it is. All right, you see that fuel rail move? It's ready to come out. It says, please take me out. Okay, I'll do it for you. Here we go. Okay, pop right out of there, nice and gently. Ah, that one popped out of its O-ring. Pop that one out like that. All right, and there's one side of the fuel rail. One injector is still in there, so I'll pop that out. And there's an O-ring inside of here. You make sure you get that O-ring. I'm going to get that out before I lose it. You can replace them O-rings too if you like. I'm not going to replace these unless I find a problem or crack or something. But you know, that's why you're gentle with your stuff, all right? Hey, someone's always blowing. Ain't that nice? All right, so we got this fuel rail out too. Let's go ahead and get that O-ring out of there before I lose it. And get a scribe. We can pop it out of that hole without pinching it. All right, just like that. And you take a good look at it. It looks fat, it looks good. So what I'm gonna do, if I can get this on camera, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it right back where it belongs. Sorry about the camera moving, you know, I'm trying to do this one-handed. And you just pop it back on there, all right? And you can stick it back in the hole where it goes. Sorry for that. Nice and easy, you know, put it up in there. All right, now you got the entire fuel rail. You can get out of the way. Okay, all the injectors are in there, all the seals, everything is as it was. So you take the entire fuel rail and you just flip it upside down or whatever you got to do. Your main objective is just to get it out of the way. So now, y'all, we're back to do the very end of the job, well, very end of the removal side of the job. We'll remove all these bolts on the intake manifold. We're going to remove that hose. It'll be the last thing we have to do. And remove all the bolts, and you can remove this entire unit. So let me get busy on that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3 bolts on this side, because we already took out these bolts right here. There's 2 right there. Okay, so 5 on this side, 3 on this side. Ratchet, my little stubby. Oh my God, that one's tight. Oh yeah, they tightened the shit out of that one. I mean, the stuff out of that one. That's where the leak is coming from, down here on this corner. Probably why it's leaking, who knows? Over tightening stuff. Over tightening plastic is not a good thing, y'all. One thing about this plastic they put on these cars these days, it is designed to fail on you. I want you guys to remember that. I'm going to show you an example over here in a minute. This plastic is designed to crack, deteriorate, to fall apart. So they want you to buy parts again. They don't want anything to last a long time. You know, they wouldn't make no money that way. So they kind of screw us out here. Almost out. 1 second. There it is. Alright. I got all the bolts out of there. Let me go ahead and get them all out completely. I'm running out of consolidation room up here. There's 3. There's 4, 5, 6. 7 and 8. I'm going to put these right here all together. This is the example right here. You see this little plastic piece, I took that hose off and this just crumbles away. I'm going to call the customer. He's probably not going to want to replace. I got plenty of room to make a seal, so I'm not really worried about it. If he's not worried about it, I'd love to replace the whole thing, but you know, it's his call. And these are designed to break. I could break this right now just by putting a little pressure on this plastic. It's deteriorated away. So, but I can put that hose down on there further and clamp. All right. So, let's pull it out of there. I think I got everything out of there so far. So this thing should just pop out of there. Kind of shake it a little bit. Shake it down. Oh no. All right. This EGR tube is kind of in the way too. I don't like that. Well, maybe not. It's not too bad. There it is right there. And there we have it. Intake manifold. I'm gonna flip it upside down. Oh no. All right. Yeah, I would have loved to replace that whole manifold to be on the safe side, you know. Here's the gaskets right here. Here's one gasket. It's leaking from this side. Let me see if I see anything wrong. That looks kind of messed up right there, yep. That plastic is broken right here where it seals, so yeah, and it's all deteriorated right there on that corner. I'll bring it over here so you can see it. All that right there. Okay, you see they got pieces missing right there on the edge, that plastic. So here's our leak. And we'll take this side off too. All right, we got new gaskets. All right, that's a mess over there. So what we're gonna do, let me flip the camera around, is we're going to clean all this mess out of here. I'm gonna get me some air, I guess. I'm gonna blow it out first, and then I'll wipe it down and clean it up really nice. Remember to wear safety glasses because this wire will shoot in your eyeball. That had happened to me. It did not feel good. Pick a little piece of steel out of your eyeball. You probably won't feel it for about a day, but hopefully you will. Alright y'all, and that's clean. I'm gonna spray it down one more time. And wipe it down. It's got stuff here. Alright. And now I can wipe it down and we can go ahead and reinstall our new gaskets. Been on it about an hour. Maybe an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. So we're making good time. Added note, you might want to clean the bottom of your intake manifold as well. Just don't clean that part over there, the engine side. You want to clean this side as well. So we'll spray it down a little bit. Make sure there's no debris hanging in there anywhere. That could cause another leak, which we can't have. We don't want to do this job twice. That's why it's important to get it done right the first time. You know, this job calls for what, 5 hours to do this job? So you do not want to mess up and not do what you're supposed to do. There's a little crack right there. And that is on the side that I'm working on? No, it's not on the side I'm working on. This is the side right here. Yeah, I would have loved to put another one on there. There's those pieces right there. But the mating surface looks pretty good. To do it. I'm going to call him one more time and see if he don't want to get this thing changed out. But I don't like that. See, this plastic sucks. It sucks. That just bolts on to the aluminum piece right there. That's for the water. It's not leaking water here. It's just it was leaking water over on this side over here. This looks good. So I mean, it's gonna run the same. I just don't want any problems later. Yeah, I'm gonna recommend it for him and let him make the call on that. But my job will be done. So I'm gonna pass the buck to him. I'm gonna recommend to replace the entire unit. But if not, I'm gonna put it back together again. It should be okay for a while. I just don't like seeing stuff like that and that right there. So let me give him a shot. Let me give him a call. All right, on the new gaskets, you'll see these little nipples right there. They fit into the holes down here. You should have two of them on both sides. Where's the other one at? Right there. One nipple there and one nipple over there. So you lay that thing in there like so. Line it up. Push down on them, and they should fit right into the holes, and now they won't move. Now they stay still, okay? Now we throw our old intake manifold on there. Man, I really would like to put another one on there just because the plastic gets brittle. Nevertheless, we're gonna get this thing done. So now we're back to our rebuild. Put it back together stage. Let's do it. We went ahead and dropped the old one back in there. It should be okay. We got some new seals on there. The cracks were right here and the cracks were right here on the bottom, but it shouldn't leak. So we're gonna put it back on there. You know, I would have loved you to changed it, but let's put it back together again. We only can do what we can do, y'all. So let's get some bolts back in there. 3 on that side, 5 on this side. There's my bolt pile right there. So let's grab these bolts and let's throw them in the hole. Tightening procedure on the intake manifold. You start at the middle. You tighten it up. This gun doesn't have a lot of torque, but it tightens them down. You do a crisscross pattern. You go from here. You do a crisscross, everything seats like it's supposed to seat. Okay? And I'll do that one here in a second too. And I'll do that one. All right, crisscrossing. All right, middle, like that, okay? And that way it sits in there nice and even. All right, reverse procedure, y'all. And that's a wrap. Well, I'll take a video on the very end when I crank it up. Gasket, it comes in the kit for the throttle body, and install a new thermostat gasket. Install and tighten all the injector fuel rail. All right. And one more on that side. All right, let's go ahead and tighten them up. Install this crazy bracket. Slip it down in there. And put that long bolt in the center, right there. There it is, right there. Install that bolt. And get back there and put that, what did I say, 14 millimeter? Put that 14 millimeter bolt back in there, and then tighten them all up together. All right, we're also going to do some spark plugs and some boots, some new boots, and I already replaced the boots and the spark plugs. I don't know where that other spark plug went to. There it is, right there. All right, replace the boots and the spark plugs. He just brought them down there with me. He told me to get the intake manifold gasket done, and he had another bag in his car with spark plugs and boots in it. And so I'll also be getting that done to do. That is a separate charge. I'll probably reduce the charge a little bit because I've already had taken out the coil packs anyways, but you still got to remove the spark plugs, gap them, and reinstall them. So I'll probably just charge half cost on a tune-up. Is how I'm going to work this one. So he's still saving a little money. So let me finish it up, man. I'm almost done. I'm going to install these screws on all the coil packs. And I have them already separated, remember? So I have 4 over here, and I have 4 on the other side. So I'll just slap them in the holes. Hey, Mr. Mailman, what's up?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to make sure your dog ain't gonna come out here.
Yeah, you know.
Look like he mad.
Plug up all the injectors and coil packs at the same time, so you want to make sure you get them all. 4 injectors, 4 coil packs, 4 injectors, 4 coil packs. Okay, make sure you tighten down everything. The coil pack bolts, everything is done. So let's move on. Let's see what's next. What's next? I guess we can go ahead and install. Let's go ahead and install this pipe right now. We'll install that pipe next. And then we'll get the throttle back on there. And we'll put the alternator back on there. And we should be able to crank it up. All right, and that's it. Looks good. Got all that water out of there and stuff. And all that chemical, that spray that I sprayed in there, flooded it out. That runs good. All right, let me shut it off, start it right back up. All right, one more time. All right, that's wrap. I'm going to put some water in it, some antifreeze in it, and check my work one more time, and then come and get this thing. I'm out. Peace.